One of the things God's doing right now is waiting for an organization like My Faith Votes to tell the story of what God is doing in this country. God is using this moment to use organizations like My Faith Votes to remind us that we have to be a part of this process. We have to get our voice heard.
Be a part of the process. Visit donate.myfaithvotes.org and make a donation today. You can help My Faith Votes ensure that Christians get out and vote.
As we've studied this, we found that there are a number of significant influences that help determine what a person's worldview will be. There are three entities in particular that have the dominant influence in that process. Biggest of those is the media. We're exposed to so much information, so many messages, so many visual cues from the media that ultimately we say, well, that must represent reality. A second significant one is teaching from parents, whether that's verbal lessons that they give us, whether it's watching their behavior and trying to discern based on what they do, what's really right or important. And then the third one is the law. And this is where government comes into play, because people look at the law for cues as well as to what's right to do in a situation. The typical church in a person's life has less than 1% of the influence on what they wind up thinking, believing, and doing. We've become so enamored of giving people a lot of information, but not enabling them to connect the dots between that information. So a lot of Americans know things that are in the Bible, but they don't know why it's important. And so the reason why in this particular study that we didn't just measure beliefs, we wanted to look at behavior also, was that in looking through the scriptures, what you find, and Jesus tells us this, is that Satan has a lot of the right information. Where it breaks down is in behavior. He chose not to connect the dots in the way that God would. And so his behavior went off track. And that's what we're finding is happening so much in America. Even if people know some of the right things, they don't know what to do with it.